Okay, hello. So, Oasis, and this is Cast No Shadow. I'll say right off the bat that I've heard the song. However, somebody wanted me to react to it because I did a couple Verve songs. I think I did a couple Verve songs. Anyway, and the song is basically about Richard Ashcroft, the lead singer of the Verve. And so, yeah, I don't listen to the song religiously or anything like that, but Oasis is one of my favorite bands. So, yeah, we're going to get into this and talk about the lyrics, which I have not done before. And this is going to be a little bit of an experience. Okay, so let's just get into it and talk about it after. All right.
Here's a thought for every man who tries to understand what is in his hands. He walks along the open road of love and life, surviving if he can. Bound with all the weight of all the words he tried to say, chained to all the places that he never wished to stay. Bound with all the weight of all the words he tried to say. As he faced the sun, he cast no shadow. As they took his soul, they stole his pride. As they took his soul, they stole his pride. As they took his soul, they stole his pride. As he faced the sun, he cast no shadow.
I just have to pause for a second. Listening to this reminds me of Noel and Liam's vocals because usually it's just one of them that does the song or whatever. But with this, Liam on lead and Noel in the background, it's just very soothing. It's very nice. The whole song is just very nice, and yeah, it's all has a great meaning. And yeah, I just really like that. And Liam in this 1995, I think he was untouchable on the mic, and yeah, he just had a great voice, and Noel as well. They're both just lightning in a bottle, you know what I mean? Let's go.
Here's a thought for every man who tries to understand what is in his hands. He walks along the open road of love and life,
Okay, Cast No Shadow from Oasis. So yeah, like I said, I really love I guess Liam's vocals and Noel's background vocals, and I also want to say about the drums. The start off, like at the start of the song, I didn't want to pause right off the bat, but I never really realized, but like just how Alan White comes in, it really reminds me of how he starts in Wonderwall, and so yeah, that just came to mind there. But yeah, I never really realized that, but they're ripping off their own songs, so it's all good. And I know that Noel has said that he does that. So anyway, looking at the bio here about the song on Genius.com, it says, as stated in What's the Story Morning Glory booklet, in the What's the Story Morning Glory booklet, Cast No Shadow is dedicated to the genius of Richard Ashcroft, again lead singer of The Verve, and so it says the meaning of the song is Noel's homage to the frontman of the now defunct Britpop band. So it says what have the artists said about the song. So this is what Noel has said on some different occasions. So he says once it was inspired by Richard Ashcroft from The Verve. He wasn't very happy for a while, so I wrote him the song. And about 3 weeks later, he quit the band. It's about songwriters in general who are desperately trying to say something. And then again, he said Select Magazine. I played him the song and he nearly started crying. I was like, "Come on, hold yourself together, son. Easy now." In a way, it's about all my friends who are in groups. We are bound with the weight of all the words we have to say. We're all looking for more. And then the last quote he gave before to NME, he said, "I don't believe people can go into a studio and record B-sides. It's either a good song or a bad song, and I have never intended to write a bad song." That sounds like quintessential Noel Gallagher. The only time I've ever really sat down to write a B side I wrote was Cast No Shadow, which was basically supposed to be a B side, but ended up really good. There's a bit at the end of Cast No Shadow when someone says down the mic really quietly, "That'll do for a B side." So we had to take that out when it came to put it on the album. So there's some history there. So yeah, and that's what I mean, just going off of Oasis now, since I said I'm a big fan. Uh, this reminds me of how they put the album out, the master plan, and how I think all of the songs were B sides basically, but they were better than a lot of the songs that they would go on to put out. Especially, a lot of people think they're better than the songs on Be Here Now from 1997. And yeah, Noel just wrote; he could write for days. And then I know that he had some writer's block when it came later on. So, especially in 2000, was standing on the shoulders of giants. So, yeah, I mean, Noel was a great songwriter from in the 90s at least, and yeah, it's just crazy how songs came to him so quickly, and how he could put the words together for this, and just such a great song, and how Liam could just get that sound that Noel wanted, and just say the words that Noel wrote. So, yeah, it was a great little tandem there, and yeah, so going on here. Anyway, looking at annotations, so it says from the first verse, the annotation says, while Cast and Shadow is mostly about Richard Ashcroft, Noel uses the first verse to frame Ashcroft's situation in a way that any listener can appreciate. Rather than harp on issues that only affect musicians, Gallagher focuses on universal struggles that every person encounters. So then we go on, which is always great to be relatable to your audience. You know, you can kind of make more money and stuff like that. So then we go on to the refrain, bound with all the weight of all the words he tried to say, which is just so beautiful. And then chained to all the places that he never wished to stay. And then it repeats, bound with all the weight of all the words he wished or he tried to say. As he faced the sun, he cast no shadow. Just brilliant. So anyway, it says Noel viewed Richard Ashcroft, among others, as a songwriter who tried to write significant lyrics as opposed to himself. So he says, but bound with all the weight reflects Noel's realization that it's easy to write lyrics about the things he does and more of a burden for people like Richard Ashcroft who try to write purposeful songs. Noel discussed the lyric once. He says, he always seemed to me to not be very happy about what was going on around him, almost trying too hard. That's why it goes, he was bound with all the weight of all the words he tried to say. I always felt he was born at the wrong place in the wrong place, and he was always trying to say the right things, but they came out wrong. So it says, However, in an interview with Q Magazine in 1996, Noel related the lines to his own songwriting ability. That's me. I'm not Morrissey. I'm not Bob Dylan. I'm not Brett Anderson. There are better lyricists than they are better lyricists than I'll ever be. So that's kind of a different moment for Noel to say that he's not one of the greatest, because that's kind of like a joke that he does, I guess. I don't know if it's a joke because he says it so much, but and that's kind of cool because I know that he really loves Morrissey, and I'm reacting to a lot of the Smiths, so it all kind of goes together. Anyway, moving on to the first chorus. So it says, as they took his soul, they stole his pride. As he faced the sun, he cast no shadow. So considering the song is about Richard Ashcroft, then Noel is implying he sold out, and maybe that he did knowingly. As for Noel, he always said that all he wished when he started out as a musician was to sell out, to make it no matter what. So it is hardly about him. His pride was in making it. And also with this line, I want to say, as they took his soul, they stole his pride. Just off of the Verve with Bittersweet Symphony, I couldn't think of it. How the Rolling Stones kind of messed that all up for them, and how they were sued by the Rolling Stones, and they didn't make any money on the song forever until actually like the last year or something like that. So just thinking about that, and that didn't even happen yet at this time that they wrote the song. But they probably his pride was probably taken away from him for a minute there around that time, and you can see why. So yeah, it all kind of goes together a little bit there. And so yeah, anyway, moving on. We go to the second verse. So here's a thought for every man who tries to understand what is in his hands. He walks along the open roads of love and life, surviving if he can, but only if he can. And I like that little bit at the end of "but only if he can." So it says, while casting shadows, mostly about Richard Ashcroft. Oh, I already read all this. Anyway, there you go again. So then we go on to the refrain, and then we have the second chorus to end the song. So as I took his soul, they stole his pride, and it goes on, as he faced the sun, he cast no shadow. So just a beautiful outro for a beautiful song altogether about a beautiful man from a beautiful band. And yeah, so anyway, like I said, like the song, I know the song. I don't appreciate it as much as I should, I feel, and yeah, it's just a great song for a great man. And I didn't actually really know it was about Richard Ashcroft until recently when somebody commented on it, and I was like, oh yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? So anyway, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching and liking and subscribing and commenting and all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate it all, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. So yeah, I guess that's it. Stay hydrated and just love Oasis.